Welcome to Garden Ways Adventures. My name is Malie, and today we have another exciting episode. I'm so excited. We're here at Lambert Growers off Redwood Road in Salt Lake. This is Kim and Marianne, and they are the owners, workers at Lambert Growers. And I'd love you to tell me a little bit about this place because it seems really special to me.
This place has been here a long time. My parents started it over 60 years ago and everything from scratch and built this business, and then I ran it with my sister for a lot of years, and then she retired last year. So now it's me, and I was second generation and brought in my daughter and her husband for third generation to help run the business.
Multi-generational family gardening and business. That is amazing. So now how does Lambert Growers work? What are the hours? How do you?
So we've always in the past been a seasonal business where we're open just in the spring for business starting the 1st of April, maybe into July, and then we would close down for the rest of the year. So very seasonal. Starting last year, we've started being open in the fall, experimenting with fall crops, fall vegetables that can be overwintered, things like that. And that's been successful so far. This is our second year doing that.
Well, I love it. And I have to tell you, this place, when I came, I was like, okay, I'm just going to come video, but it's going to be a trap.
Oh. You mean you're going to leave with something?
I'm going to leave with probably way more than I need because it's amazing. So what I'd love to do is have Kim kind of guide us around and show us what you have available and talk a little bit about why, what you're offering and why you're offering them this time of year.
Yeah, sounds great.
So now we're doing a little bit of a switch. This is Charlie, this is Kim's husband, and I'm going to have Kim introduce Charlie, and then we're going to walk around and see what you guys have. And then I challenge you to try not to come and buy stuff because it's going to be really hard.
I'm Charlie, I'm Kim's husband. And
so much more.
So much more. I am very lucky to be a part of this family now and helping out with the greenhouse and greenhouse business. We have a lot of exciting ideas and hopefully not too overwhelming of ideas to expand a little bit and educate people more on farming and growing in the Salt Lake area and expanding and extending their growing season. So yeah, we're just really excited for more people to come down and see what we have and also ask us all the questions. You know, that's one of the biggest things is education for us, for everybody else.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the first things that I would love to talk about is, when people garden, most people put their plants in, they get all excited around Mother's Day, and they put their plants in, everything starts to grow, but then it starts slowing down, you start losing things, and then you get open spots in your garden. And what I'd love to show them is what you have over here. It's a little late for these right now, but you're going to do this next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what's on these tables.
So behind us are basils. So we found that when we were planting basils, they would have already gone to flower by now. But right now is when your tomatoes are coming on for like caprese salads and all that stuff, and pestos, and we needed fresh basil. And so our idea was to do another flush of them. We have a couple of varieties that are great for small space. They get like we have a Thai basil variety that gets like 3 feet tall, and no joke, it's like a straight column, and it's like this high, and it's one plant. It's incredible. So if you have like square foot gardening or gardeners, we've got plants for you.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm always surprised with what people come up with too. It's not like we're confined to like very specific things. So I always love when people say like, well, I'll just try it and see how it goes. Because that's basically how we learned how to farm, was trial and error. Like we just stuck stuff in, and we don't stop learning. That's what people may not know, is every year we learn something new. And anyway, I think that's what keeps it exciting. And then we get to share that experience with you to hopefully help save you some headache, but maybe not.
Perfect. Well, this is exciting. So what else do you have?
So some other things that if you can get an earlier start in the fall would be bush beans. The good part with these is that you don't necessarily need a trellis. We planted ours like maybe 8 inches apart, so they kind of trellis each other, because they only get like this tall. So the idea with those was that you would get another harvest before the cold weather totally stops them from growing. Parsley is pretty cold tolerant. That one could last into like a couple light frosts.
Mine last all winter.
Yep.
The mild winter.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple come back and they're huge and bushy. We just cut the seed heads off, and so yeah, that one's easy like year round. And the other one that I was going to show you would be the dill.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of the same as the basil, where we wanted to start making pickles, but all of our dill had gone to flower. So it's all stretched out and there's no like fronds left, I guess. So we thought that this would be another nice opportunity to help you put your produce to use, especially pickles and such.
Rotation also, because if you've planted dill in the beginning of the summer and it's already going to seed, you can save those seeds for cooking later, right? And then you'll have your fresh for all of the other wonderful treats from the garden.
See it all over the garden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
You
exactly.
have even more. What else do you have here?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So those were the things that we were, kind of trying to promote earlier on. And then a lot of the rest of it is going to be more cold weather stuff. And
I'd love to have you guys talk about that because I don't think people understand in Utah how much you can grow for how long this is.
yeah.
So let's see what you got.
Yeah, I know. So when we were farming, we didn't really do any of the like long season stuff. We just did the summer crops and then we like wrapped it up. But the last couple of years, we've really been getting interested in it, and that was some of our inspiration for the fall. We've got a lot of perennial herbs. So you've got the chives that will come back next year with the beautiful blooms. And I think the Chinese fat chives are the ones with the white bloom, I might be wrong. Are they white?
This is the perfect time of year to plant those.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely not too late for those.
And this is a really fun thing. If you don't have a lot of garden space, but you have some fun landscape around your house, you can just pop chives in all over the place, and then you have those beautiful flowers. It brings in pollinators, and you can eat the little flowers. You can eat the blooms. You can throw them in your salad. You can fry them up. They're delicious.
Perfect edible landscape.
Yeah,
plant.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Next door, you've got the chard.
Yep.
Those are so gorgeous. I love them.
Yeah.
So you have a multicolored chard. This will actually overwinter with very little cover.
Really?
Yeah, I've grown chard. I've grown chard outdoors with no cover, and it survived the winter. The only thing is it bolts the next spring,
Oh.
like first thing.
That's still pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So
But if you put like a frost cloth over it or just a single layer hoop over it, it will last all winter and you can harvest it.
Excellent.
And I've grown it indoor in pots all winter.
Oh, fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
chard
what-
is an amazing one. So that's one that they can come get now and use.
So would you recommend having that pretty well established going into winter? Or
So I try when I do my overwintering, because I actually grow through the whole winter, and I try to I plant my stuff about the middle of August, my seeds.
Yeah.
And then I'll actually up pot everything into gallon pots inside,
cool.
so that they're big. And then once we hit the end of September, I'll put them out in the garden, and that gives them just a couple of weeks to get established. Then I'll cover them, and then they overwinter, and then I harvest throughout the winter, and then the next spring.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
I hear you guys have been doing stuff like that too.
Yeah, we did some experimenting with low tunnels, if your folks are familiar with what that is.
Yeah.
A little bit maybe. So we did low tunnels.
Can you just kind of quickly explain how you do your low tunnels?
Sure. I know there's probably other ways to like make the hoop, but you're basically just making like a low caterpillar tunnel across we use long rows because it seems to be nice and uniform for sowing long rows of things or harvesting. Like we kind of like the look of that as well. But that makes the tunnels easy too because you just do straight lines. So we just use, what gauge would that be?
half inch conduit, and we would bend the half-inch conduit into, yep, and then we just use rebar for each end. So you just, in the fall, I'll come along and I'll measure out and put the rebar in, and then the conduit slides right over the rebar and it's nice and sturdy.
So you don't have, even if you get big winter storms, you're not
Correct.
getting, yeah.
Yeah, we weighed them down with various things, and when the snow came along, that actually kept the edges down well and like insulated it too. But so underneath the tall one, when the plants were still small, we set up like a thinner gauge wire and covered that with a frost cloth. Yeah, so we actually had 2 layers, and so on warm days we would go out and just tag team pulling the plastic back and then the frost cloth, and yeah, we didn't lose anything. It was
So
awesome.
what did you grow last year?
Cabbage.
We did cabbage, kale,
Broccolini?
onions, broccolini. What else did we put in there?
Probably variations of that. A lot of brassicas.
We had some lettuce that we tried.
Yeah.
We grew garlic, of course, but that wasn't in the high tunnels.
Yeah, that can just be out.
Beets?
Yeah.
Did we have beets over winter? That might have
I
been the year
forgot to
before.
cover them.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we had
I
beets, but we
forgot.
forgot to cover.
So you guys have done quite a bit. So people just need to think about it. Come here. Let's see what else you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that you can overwinter with just a little bit of cover.
Yeah. More perennial herbs. So we've got a couple different kinds of thyme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can be planted now too.
Mm-hmm. We have snap pea starts, which can also be planted now.
And then next door, we've got a couple kinds of oregano, which they would also be a nice perennial herb. So if you're looking to do like an herb garden, it's great. Let's see, collards, a lot of brassicas. So yeah, collards.
Collards are perfect. I think they would overwinter really well. I'm gonna try those this year.
Awesome. Yeah, I think with the luck we had last year with like the broccoli and cabbage, like these would be a no-brainer, and then you would just have, yeah, greens all winter.
The brassica that I found is a little more tender is the cauliflowers.
Oh yeah, we'll do some in the spring, but we kind of save that for like if we have space, or I don't know. Would you do those like in the fall, you think?
I've done them I'm doing them now in the fall, but you got to start them early.
Okay.
I put a shade cloth over my hoop houses and then and start them in July.
Okay. Yeah,
We'll see
so
if
it's
they have
possible.
time to develop heads this year.
We'll have to
If they did this year, we'll see.
exchange notes.
Yes.
So we have arugula also started, which is really easy, really fast.
That overwinters without cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of different kales, which also overwinters quite well.
That's
And
another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Your kale is gorgeous. The
Thanks.
colors. See, this is what I didn't know. Is kale is gorgeous.
yeah.
And look at that purple.
Another fun edible landscape.
Dinosaur kale.
Yep.
But you've got these purple. These ones too, and the blue bugs. I actually use these as landscape plants.
Yep.
Totally.
Exactly.
I love that when you can mix and mingle all of those. I think it's just really, the aesthetic of that is just fun. Like, it always seems to be like people that, it's like, oh, that person must know what they're doing if they're mixing edibles. And it just seems to be like kind of off people's radar. But I wish we could encourage more people to do that.
If you're
Because
gonna put a pansy in, you can put a kale.
totally.
Yeah.
But this was a new kale we brought in for the fall that's supposed to be good for kale chips because it's got that really nice broad leaf to it.
Oh yeah.
So if you're looking for an easier way to get greens in, then bake them. Oil, salt, and pepper. All right, and then down here at the end, I was telling you earlier about some cabbages. So this one, it doesn't have the actual days to maturity, but we picked it because it was one of the fastest ones.
Right.
So if you did stick them in now, chances of getting a cabbage head by the end of fall or like before the cold weather starts to slow it down too much, should be good to go.
Yeah, because you guys have done the hard work of getting it started.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely, like this week, people to come in.
totally. Especially with the moisture that we've gotten and the cold weather that's starting to work its way in, I think this is
time.
what I'll be.
Everybody has spots, and like we were saying, you'll have spots in your front yard too.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, plug them in.
You don't have to have a garden bed to do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
We picked a mini broccoli. It's more of like I think it's more of like an Asian sprouting broccoli. They call it Gailan variety.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying, is it Fadya?
Ooh. Sounds
But it's
familiar.
a lot like the Gailan.
Okay.
Cool. So you're familiar.
Their taste.
Yeah. So we did broccolini last year, and this year was just a slightly new variety. So I guess with this one though, you don't need to pinch it to encourage the sprouting. So sometimes you'll see things that say pinching encouraged, and what that would mean is like when the plant gets larger and it's starting to form, like let's say this was an actual broccoli, and let's say the head went to flower and that was too late, I would pinch that off, and what it would encourage is they call it lateral shoots, so you'd get more growth around the base of it.
That you can eat.
That you can eat, all of it, yeah. So and when you start to see the word pinching on things, then you'll kind of know, like that literally does mean like chopping the top of the plant off.
Yeah.
Same idea as deadheading with a lot of flowers, right? It encourages the growth in other parts of the plant so that you have more product.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
this one you don't have to do that to get the side shoot.
Not required, just stick it in and let it go.
Another good one to try. I love it.
Yeah, easy peasy.
And it keeps going.
Yeah. We've got some cilantro in here. Some of it looks like it wants to start going to seed. But cilantro is generally a cool weather thing, which we realize a lot of customers find to be a surprise when they're wondering where the cilantro is in June, which is a bummer because you do want cilantro for salsas and garnish, but it goes to seed so fast in the summer and even like late spring. Like ours doesn't last very long. So if you have tricks, please tell us.
What I'm finding some people doing is either dehydrating it or freezing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bunch in the early spring, freeze it, use that, and then plant a fall crop.
Smart.
And then cut that before it goes to seed. And
Awesome.
Freeze that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then we've got some spinach, and that's just like such a tough plant, and they love the cool weather, so it's like they only get better. I feel like those are
Sometimes starting those by seed, so this is really a good thing to have somebody who
Sweet.
knows what they're doing and is able to start. Now, your mom was saying that you don't bring the starts in. Where do you
Right.
get these?
So we call ourselves a production greenhouse. So a lot of people wonder why they're not allowed to walk out in all the houses in the back. It's because everything is at various stages of growth. So we order seed in and grow our own everything in the back. So if you walked into each different house, it would be various heights, and it looks like a mosaic because there's like literally on any table, there's like up to like 40 different kinds of things on a table. So, so yeah, it's exciting, but we get to control the quality, the seed we bring in, who we support with that. Yeah, I think if you've shopped here, I think hopefully quality is a term that would come up if I were to ask you like what you think of our plants. So
This
what we
is
hope.
truly local growing.
it is.
It is,
Yeah.
Yeah, support. If you want to support local growers,
Yeah.
this is a good way to do it.
Yeah. We're definitely
Okay.
proud of it.
And is
And
this more chard or is this beets?
these are beets.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so we seed these, there's more than one plant in our beets and a couple other things. We seed like pellets or multi-seeds into one. So you can see there's at least 3 or 4 plants in there.
Oh,
There's 4. So what we do is we just start wiggling these apart, and you can pull them apart. And as long as they have a little bit of root on them,
They do well.
you can stick them in. And we always suggest them planting, like, just make a fist and plant them that far apart. And then you literally won't lose any, well, unless you don't water them. But
Yeah, there's ways to lose them.
yeah, I guess there's plenty of ways to kill your plants. But
But it has to be more of your mistake.
yes, but this way you'll get like at least 12 beets out of there. And we've had really good success in our personal gardens with these this way.
Oh, I love it. What varieties are they? Oh, the Detroit dark.
Yeah. Yeah, the dark red, and then we do a golden one as well, Detroit golden.
In the spring, we also grow a Chioggia,
Yeah,
and sometimes we'll do a white avalanche. It just kind of depends on what's around. We try to throw one in, just an extra for fun, something that we haven't seen before. But I think white avalanche was this year. I don't
a
remember.
couple years
I
past.
definitely need to come back in the spring and see what you guys have.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's loaded in here. It's
But
really
you
fun.
don't have to come in the spring. You can come now.
Yeah. Yeah. So the oldest lettuce is the next table. So this is mostly freshly planted down here.
They definitely have time for lettuce.
So much time. It's such an easy thing to overwinter as well. I feel like that and spinach are just, I don't know, easy. Yeah, if you want to be successful, start with lettuce.
Even just do a frost pot. Lettuce.
Truly, truly. This is an Asian green called tatsoi.
Oh yeah, tatsoi is so
Nice little delicate green. The fennel here is kind of an experiment. I think what we might have missed is that I think day length, it might need longer days to form the bulb. So we have some friends helping us do an experiment. So it might just be that we harvest the fronds and the stems into cooking and
Well, because it's all edible. So
Exactly.
That's what I love about gardening is any experiment is not wasted space. It's not wasted time.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one may be on the chopping block for next year because we don't want to set people up for failure either. So we might just keep trying to find things that
But if somebody else is interested in trialing it,
totally,
you know, especially if they're willing to share their information like on Facebook or come back and talk to you guys or whatever.
totally. Yeah, and we love the feedback too. It's really helpful when people can be like, this was totally terrible. And it's like, you know, we try not to take it personal, but we're like, oh, tell us why. And oh.
Well, yeah, because we gotta learn.
Yeah.
How else do you learn? Because you guys you do a lot. You can't do everything.
We try and it's impossible.
Look at your lettuce. Look at the colors.
I know, the lettuce table is always my favorite. And I wish more
So
people
beautiful.
were as excited about lettuce as I am.
Well, and the thing about it is if you come in, you know, like if you come in a little later in the spring when it's to a nursery that has lettuce where it's you know, gotten a little warm, the lettuce tables are not beautiful.
It's true. Yeah.
do
They're
look
burned up. But
Yeah.
look at this. This is not burned up.
No, it's
This is the
perfect
perfect
timing.
time.
Yep.
Yeah, they're really
Exactly.
happy. And some of these are also seeded together, so there might be like more than just 4 red butterheads here. And so, anyway, so you get more than what you're saying.
Ah, it's
Yeah. So yeah, we've never really gotten into doing like big fall mums, but this spring we threw them in. And we're like, let's see how they go. they're a little more finicky, like the ones you see at like box stores that are big and blooming. They put a little extra time into them, and it's a whole thing with covering them with like a dark fabric. But we just decided to let them go wild and see. So that's why
See,
some
these
of
will
them
still grow, and they will
Yeah.
be good for next year even.
definitely they'll bloom eventually. They all have tags, but you know, when they bloom, people pick them up faster. So it's been interesting to see. But yeah, fall mums, and then we're getting into our perennials. So we have some of our medicinal plants that we put into gallons. Well, medicinal and ornamental. So you've got your evening primrose.
So during the summer, this year we did a selection of medicinal plants, and these are some of the leftovers that we have that we potted up, and
Perfect.
yeah. So we'll have more.
Yes, definitely have some of my favorite. This is the best
Oh.
time of year for the
Yeah.
hibiscus.
They're insane, and they're super hardy here. People think that these are only a tropical plant, but this variety, the Luna variety, is supposed to be hardy.
So these are all the colors, all the different flowers. We have so many varieties.
Yeah, super fun.
So you can ignore the 25% off. We're doing everything buy one, get one from the spring sale price. So basically the gallons are marked down to like $5 is what that would put them at.
Everybody come on in. This is the time for your perennials.
Yeah.
So a lot of the grasses we tried to use, if you're familiar with Localscapes,
Yes.
so I tried to pull them directly from their list so that we could make sure that we were selling hardy, aesthetically pleasing, water-wise perennials.
Because
So we talked a little bit about garlic leaf as being, well, this is actually not the time yet, but it is the time to purchase garlic. before
Correct.
it sells out.
Yeah,
Do you guys know where we can get some garlic?
we might know.
Ha! Look at this. Oh my word. So let's see.
So the whole top shelf is hardneck.
Oh, you've got the music. This is what everybody's looking for is music. Green red. Oh, chestnut red is another good one.
And then the next shelf down is your soft necks for like people like to braid them, right? And so those are the ones that would be able to be braided.
Okay, so when people want to when they think it's time to buy garlic, which is like right now,
Mm-hmm.
you've got garlic.
we've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this it? Or do you have more?
These are the varieties for this year. Yep. What is that?
So when
These
you sell
8.
out of these, then you're done?
This is it.
Yep.
Yep.
They better come and get them now.
Yep. So this year we're going to be open till September 9th, which is a Saturday. We want to save the garlic until, would you say, like October-ish when it starts
I
to...
usually plan mine mid-October to the beginning of November. That's
Perfect.
my-
Awesome.
Yeah, and those, they can sit on your counter
Mm-hmm.
until it's time to
Really.
plant.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Just
perfect.
make sure nobody eats them.
Right. No.
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You can't eat these.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be delicious, but then that would be a tragedy.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, I feel like they're like expensive culinary garlic.
And I'm so thankful that you guys let us come and see what you're growing, because you're growing some amazing stuff. And I hope you guys come in here, pick up some of the starts, and try growing stuff over the winter. It's easy to overwinter stuff in the house if you don't have a garden, and it's easy to create a hoop house. I'll link a video up above on how I created mine. And you can just take wire and frost cloth, or even just straight frost cloth over the hardier vegetables. So definitely they need to try it. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and if it has been helpful to you, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, come visit Lambert Growers, and you'll have a wonderful garden.
Yeah.